Good morning, students. This is class 11th, subject chemistry, chapter 4, chemical bonding and molecular structure, and this is lecture number 6. Today we will discuss about molecular orbital theory. So there are certain properties like bond strength, magnetic behavior, which were not explained by previous theory, Vesper theory, valence bond theory, Lewis-Cossel approach. So now a new theory was developed, which was known as molecular orbital theory by Hunt and Mulliken in 1932. So first we will study about the salient features of molecular orbital theory. So first one is, like valence bond theory, it starts with atomic orbitals, but it postulates that the atomic orbitals overlap to form new orbitals called molecular orbitals. From the previous theories, we are already aware from this concept that atomic orbitals overlap with each other and it results into formation of covalent bond. But in this theory, it states that atomic orbitals overlap with each other and it results into formation of new orbitals, and these new orbitals are known as molecular orbitals. And atomic orbitals will lose their individual identity and they will acquire new properties of molecular orbital. So now, here we will define molecular orbitals. When two atomic orbitals combine or overlaps, they lose their identity and form new orbitals. The new orbitals thus formed are known as molecular orbitals. So now here you can see in the diagram that these are the atomic orbitals, this one and this one. Okay. So when two atomic orbitals overlap with each other, then what will happen? So this is valence bond approach. In previous theory, we have studied that they will overlap with each other and it will result into formation of covalent bond. But according to molecular orbital theory, new molecular orbitals are formed, okay? So when two atomic orbitals overlap with each other, then it will result into formation of molecular orbital. Okay, so it is molecular orbital, right? So as you can see here that in one molecular orbital, two nuclei are present here. Okay. Now second point is, molecular orbitals are the energy states of a molecule in which the electron of the molecule are filled, just as atomic orbitals are the energy states of an atom in which the electron of the atom are filled. Here you can see that this is electronic configuration of fluorine and these are the atomic orbitals, right? 2p, 2s, 1s, and in these orbitals electrons are filled. In the same way, there are molecular orbitals in which electrons are filled in increasing order of their energy. So in next lecture we will study about the filling of electrons in molecular orbital. Now, third point is, in terms of probability distribution, a molecular orbital gives the electron probability distribution around a group of nuclei, just as an atomic orbital gives the electron probability distribution around the single nucleus. So here you can see that this is one atomic orbital and this is also atomic orbital. So now, in atomic orbital, the probability to find an electron is maximum around the nuclei. Okay, same is the case of this one. But in molecular orbital, the probability to find an electron is maximum around the group of nuclei, because as you can see here that there is more than one nucleus. Okay, so here this is a point that in terms of probability distribution, a molecular orbital gives the electron probability distribution around a group of nuclei, just as an atomic orbital gives the electron probability distribution around the single nucleus. Now, next point is, only those atomic orbitals can combine to form molecular orbitals which have comparable energies and proper orientation. For example, 1s can combine with 1s, not with 2s. Okay, so when we talk about overlapping of atomic orbitals, so here you can see that if this is 1s orbital and this is also 1s orbital, then there will be overlapping and it will easily form molecular orbital. But if this atomic orbital is 1s and this one is 2s, then there is more energy gap. So there will be no overlapping and it will not result into any molecular orbital. In the same way, When we take 2pz orbital, this is also 2pz atomic orbital, axis is z axis, so they can easily overlap with each other. Okay, so when they will overlap with each other, then they will form molecular orbitals. So that means overlapping is possible. So this is the proper orientation because they have symmetry. But suppose 2pz overlaps with 2px or 2py. Now here axes are different because this one is x-axis and this one is z-axis. So overlapping is not possible. Okay, as you can see here, this orbital cannot overlap with this orbital because it will come here. So overlapping is not possible because axes are different. So here internuclear axis which we are taking, that is z axis. Okay, so this one is 2pz, but this one is 2px, or if you will take 2py, this one is 2py, then also overlapping is not possible. So this is improper orientation. So no overlapping, that means no formation of molecular orbital. In the same way, here you can see that 2s orbital cannot overlap with 2px or 2py orbital. Okay, because orientation is not correct. Okay, here s orbital cannot overlap with 2px or 2py orbital. So there is no net overlapping and there is no formation of molecular orbital in these cases. Okay, this is also a case where 2s overlaps with 2pz. So here axis is z. So here you can see that they can overlap with each other and this is the overlapping region. Okay, so we will say that this is proper orientation because they have symmetry. So this explains point number 4. 1s can combine with 1s, not with 2s. Similarly, s can combine with pz but not with px or py. Pz can combine with px but not with px and py. Now next point is the number of molecular orbitals formed is equal to the number of combining atomic orbitals. Okay. For example, if we take two atomic orbitals, then it will result into formation of two molecular orbitals. Okay. But in this picture, only one molecular orbital is shown here. Second molecular orbital is not shown here. Okay. But there will be formation of second molecular orbital. So if we will mix two atomic orbitals, then it will result into formation of two molecular orbitals. Okay. Now these two atomic orbitals which combines together and they result into formation of new molecular orbitals. So one molecular orbital is known as bonding molecular orbital. Okay, and second molecular orbital is known as anti-bonding molecular orbital. This one is very important. When two atomic orbitals combines together, they result into formation of two molecular orbitals. And what are names of those molecular orbitals? One is bonding molecular orbital and second one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Seventh point is the bonding molecular orbital has lower energy and has greater stability than the corresponding anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So here we will understand this with this diagram. Suppose this is one s orbital because we can represent orbitals like in this way. Okay, this one is 1s orbital and energy is increasing as we are going in upward direction. Okay, so in upward direction energy is increasing. This is 1s orbital, this is atomic orbital and this one is also 1s orbital. So when these two 1s orbital combines together or mix together, then it will result into formation of two molecular orbitals. So these are the two new molecular orbitals which are formed by mixing of these two atomic orbitals. Okay. Now this one is bonding molecular orbital and this one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, and as energy is increasing when we go from down to top, then energy of bonding molecular orbital is less and energy of anti-bonding molecular orbital is high. Okay, so I hope now this point is clear that bonding molecular orbital has lower energy and greater stability. Because you are aware from this fact that less is the energy, more will be the stability. Now 8th point is The bonding molecular orbitals are represented by sigma, pi, delta, etc. Whereas the corresponding anti-bonding molecular orbitals are represented by sigma star, pi star and delta star. Okay, this is sigma, this is symbol of pi and this is symbol of delta. Now next point is the shapes of molecular orbitals formed depend upon the type of combining atomic orbitals. Okay, so we will study about this point in our next slide. Now the filling of molecular orbitals takes place according to the same rule as those of the atomic orbitals. In these are as follows. Okay, when we fill atomic orbital, when we write electronic configuration and when we fill atomic orbitals, then you fill them according to some rules. So these are the rules according to which we fill molecular orbitals. Okay, so the same rules are applied here. First one is Aufbau principle. Molecular orbitals are filled in order of their increasing energies. Second one is Pauli exclusion principle. A molecular orbital can have maximum 2 electrons and these must have opposite spin. And next one is Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Pairing of electrons in the degenerate molecular orbitals does not take place until each of them has got 1 electron each. Okay, we will apply the same rules here. Now, types of molecular orbitals formed. So when two atomic orbitals combines or overlaps, it results into formation of two new molecular orbitals, right? One is bonding molecular orbital and second is anti-bonding molecular orbital. So we will take first example here when one 1s orbital combines with another 1s orbital. Okay, so this is shape of 1s orbital. So when 1s orbital combines with another 1s orbital, then what will happen? Now two atomic orbitals are combining together. So how many molecular orbitals will form? Answer is 2. Okay, so these are the two molecular orbitals which are formed when 1s orbital overlaps with another 1s orbital. Okay, so we are showing it separately. So as you can see here, when we add these, orbitals, then what will happen? Okay, so this is by addition. Now we are taking sign here positive and here also positive, because you know that orbital is like a electron wave. Okay, so this is electron wave. So here we are representing crust by positive sign and trough by negative sign. So that is why we are taking here sign. So in 1s orbital there is only positive sign in first case. Okay, this one is also positive. But in second case, one is positive and another one is negative. Now you know why we are taking these signs, because in electron wave, crust is represented by positive sign and trough is represented by negative signs. And orbitals, atomic orbitals are like a electron waves. Okay. So when positive and positive overlapping is there, then what will happen? Then it will result into molecular orbital and it will result into formation of a bond. And this is first molecular orbital and it will look like this. Okay, here there are two nuclei and overall there will be here positive sign. So this molecular orbital is known as bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so when plus sign of 1s, when it overlaps with another 1s orbital which has plus sign, then what will happen? Bonding molecular orbital will form. Okay, so and this is the shape. But when now we are taking second case, okay, because second molecular orbital will also form, which is known as anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so here 1s orbital which has positive sign, it overlaps with another 1s orbital which has negative sign. Now here what will happen? This is overlapping of these two orbitals and it will result into formation of molecular orbital. This one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, here you can see that this is the molecular orbital. Here you will show positive sign and here you will show negative sign. And can you see this plane? This is a nodal plane. Nodal plane means where probability to find an electron is 0. Here we cannot find any electron. Okay, so here there is very important point that in bonding molecular orbital we can find electron in between the two nuclei. Okay, so here in this region probability to find the electron is maximum, okay, and around the nuclei is minimum, okay. So here probability to find the electron is minimum, and in between two nuclei the probability to find the electron is maximum in bonding molecular orbital. But in anti-bonding molecular orbital the case is different. Here you will find out that around the nuclei, that means in this region, probability to find the electron is maximum here also, but in between the nuclei here probability to find the electron is 0. Okay, so in anti-bonding molecular orbital, between the nuclei, in between the nuclei, probability to find the electron is 0, and in bonding molecular orbital, here maximum probability is there. Okay, so you should note this point. So this is the case when 1s orbital combines with another 1s orbital. So this is the orbital diagram. This diagram is also showing the same thing, okay. When 1s orbital combines with another 1s orbital, then it will result into formation of two orbitals. This one is bonding orbital, this one is anti-bonding orbital. So when we fill electrons, then we use this diagram. But when we draw orbital structures, then we draw these diagram, okay, this diagram. Now we will take second example of 2s with 2s, when 2s orbital overlaps with 2s orbital. So here the diagram is same, okay, same as 1s. Here you can see that here you just have to write 2s 2s, okay, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Okay, look here. It is represented by sigma because this is bonding molecular orbital, and this is represented by sigma star because it is anti-bonding molecular orbital. And why we are using here sigma sign? This is sigma bond because sigma bond is formed by end-to-end overlapping or head-to-head overlapping. So this type of overlapping result into formation of sigma bond. That is why we are showing here sigma sign. Okay, so sigma 1s and this is sigma star 1s. So same is the case of 2s orbital. So same as 1s with 1s. Now next one is overlapping of 2pz with 2pz atomic orbital. Okay, so this is the shape of 2pz orbital, right? And this is also shape of 2pz orbital. Now sign of this lobe is negative, this is positive, this is positive, and this is negative. So first we will show positive overlapping of these two orbital, and after that we will show negative overlapping. Okay, so you have to see top to down. Now this positive lobe will overlap with this positive lobe. Okay, so here there will be overlapping between these two, right? And it will result into formation of a new shape because now this is molecular orbital and these are atomic orbitals. So when atomic orbitals overlap with each other, then it will result into formation of molecular orbital. Okay, so shape will be different. So as you can see here that this is the shape of molecular orbital and this is positive overlapping. So which molecular orbital is this? Bonding molecular orbital or anti-bonding molecular orbital? Answer this question. Answer is bonding molecular orbital because in positive overlapping bonding molecular orbitals are formed. Okay. Now next one is what if there is negative overlapping? That means this positive sign overlaps with this negative one. Okay. So now what will happen? If there will be some overlapping, then it will look like this. Okay. The new shape will look like this and this. And this plane is nodal plane where we cannot find any electron. Okay. Probability to find the electron is 0 because here in this region we can find the electrons around the nuclei. Okay. Now bonding molecular orbital is represented by sigma 2pz because there is end-to-end overlapping, head-to-head overlapping. But here anti-bonding overlapping is represented by sigma star. Okay, so you will show here sigma. Here also end-to-end overlapping is there. Okay. When there is positive overlapping, then it favors the formation of bond. But when there is negative overlapping, then it does not favor the formation of bond. So you should note this point. Now we will take next example of overlapping of 2px with 2px or 2py with 2py. Okay. Now when 2px orbital, atomic orbital, overlaps with another 2px atomic orbital, then what will happen? Now shape of 2px is this, okay, and axis is x-axis. Now when they will overlap with each other, then this is the overlapping which is shown here. As you can see here that this one is sideways overlapping. And in sideways overlapping, which type of bond is formed? Answer is pi bond. Okay. So when 2px orbital will overlap with another 2px orbital, then what will happen? It will result into formation of molecular orbital. Now as you can see here that this is positive overlapping. So this is bonding molecular orbital and it will look like this. This is a plane, okay, and electrons are present above the plane and below the plane. So this is electron cloud which is present above the plane and below the plane. Now here you will show positive sign and here you will show negative sign. And what is the name of this molecular orbital? Pi 2px. Okay. Now pi because there is sideways overlapping, right? Now the same case is with 2py. Overlapping of 2py and 2py will be the same, just the axis is y-axis. Okay. Now this plane, this dotted line, can you see it? This is known as nodal plane. Okay. Where we cannot find any electron because electrons are present here. Okay. Now this one is the case of positive overlapping. Now we will take the case of negative overlapping. Because as you can see here that two orbitals are overlapping with each other. And so they will form two molecular orbitals. So one molecular orbital is here and second molecular orbital is here. Okay. By negative overlapping. So here this one is negative overlapping where positive sign will overlap with this negative one and negative one with positive one. Okay, so when they will overlap with each other, then they will result into formation of anti-bonding molecular orbital and this will be the shape. Okay, this one and this one. So can you see these dotted lines? These are the planes and in this region probability to find the electron is 0. So we will say that these are nodal planes. Okay, and we can find electrons here. And you will represent anti-bonding molecular orbital by pi star 2px if you are taking 2px orbital, and if you are taking 2py orbital then you will show pi star 2py. Remember you have to show only pi sign here. You cannot use here sigma sign because there is sideways overlapping. In the same way when we were talking about 2pz, then you have to write here only sigma sign, okay, because there is end-to-end overlapping, so you cannot change it. Now next is difference between sigma and pi molecular orbitals. So sigma molecular orbitals, it is formed by the overlap of atomic orbitals along the internuclear axis. Okay, so there is end-to-end or head-to-head overlapping. Second is due to head-on overlap, the overlapping is maximum. It consists of one electron cloud and its electron cloud is symmetrical about the internuclear axis. Next is pi molecular orbitals. Pi molecular orbitals are formed by sideways overlapping. Okay, and due to sideways overlapping, the overlapping is less. Next is it consists of two electron cloud, one lying above the plane and other lying below the plane. Now its electron cloud is not symmetrical about the internuclear axis. You can see here in the diagram that this is pi bond, right? Because here there is sideways overlapping and orbitals, they are above the plane and below the plane and they are not symmetrical. Now difference between atomic and molecular orbitals. So atomic orbitals, the electron cloud extends around the nucleus of a single atom. Atomic orbital is monocentric. Okay, in atomic orbital there is only one nuclei On the other hand, in molecular orbitals, there are more than one nuclei. Atomic orbitals are less stable as compared to molecular orbitals, and they have simple shapes, and they are represented by S, P, D, F, etc. On the other hand, molecular orbitals, the electron cloud extends around all the nuclei of bonded atom in the molecule, and they are polycentric. Poly means many and centric means center. Okay, so they have more than one nuclei. They are more stable and they have complex shapes, and they are represented by sigma, pi, delta, sigma star, pi star, and delta star. Here you can see that the sigma, pi, delta, they are bonding molecular orbital, and sigma star, pi star, and delta star are anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, now conditions for the combination of atomic orbitals to form molecular orbital. There are some conditions. So the combining atomic orbitals should have comparable energy. Okay, I have told you this earlier. Second one, the combining atomic orbitals must have proper orientation or same symmetry, so that they are able to overlap to a considerable extent. If the orientation is proper, then overlapping extent will be more. Now here you can see in the diagram that this is 2pz and this is 2pz, and they have proper orientation. That is why there is overlapping between these two orbitals. Okay, here also in 2s and 2pz, their internuclear axis is same, which is z axis. So there is overlapping. Okay, so this is example of proper orientation, and these are the example of improper orientation because their axes are different, because 2pz is present on z axis but this is 2px. Okay, so orbital is on y axis. So orientation should be proper, otherwise there will be no overlapping. Now next is formation of molecular orbitals, that how the molecular orbitals form. Okay, so the formation of molecular orbitals can be explained on the basis of linear combination of atomic orbitals, which is known as LCAO. Keeping in mind that an atomic orbital is an electron wave. You know very well that atomic orbital is nothing but an electron wave, where there is one crust and trough. Crust is represented by positive sign and trough is represented by negative sign. Now the waves of the two atomic orbitals may be in phase or out of phase. What is the meaning of this line? You will understand it with the help of diagram. Now we will here assume that psi A and psi B are the amplitude of the electron wave. Okay. So this is the diagram. Here this is the wave. Okay. Here this is crust, this is trough. Okay. Again this is crust and this is trough. Amplitude of the wave is represented by psi A. The symbol is psi. Okay. And this is A wave. So it is psi A. This is second wave, B wave, and it is represented by, its amplitude is represented by psi B. Okay. This is crust, this is trough. Now if these two waves falls on each other, crust falls over crust, trough falls over trough, then this type of overlapping is known as addition. Okay. So there is addition of these two waves where crust falls over crust and trough falls over trough. So there will be a constructive interference. Constructive interference means these two waves will add up. And when these two waves will add up, then what will happen? The amplitude of the wave will increase. Now amplitude is psi A plus psi B, because this is a constructive interference where these two waves add up. Okay. Now as you can see here that due to addition the amplitude increases, right? So due to this bonding molecular orbitals are formed. Okay. So this is the reason that bonding molecular orbitals are generated. Now this one is this B diagram, this one is second example. Okay. Now here this one is first wave, this one is second wave. Now as you can see here that this wave, it is like in this way. Okay, if crust is here, then this one is trough. Okay, so now what will happen? Now crust will falls over here and there is trough, right? So when these two waves combines with each other, then what will happen? There is subtraction. So here you will observe that amplitude of the wave will decrease. Okay. So here amplitude of the wave decreases, and this is known as destructive interference. Okay. Because amplitude of the wave decreases. That is why it is known as destructive, and this is known as constructive. Okay. Now case 1, when the two waves are out of phase, which is known as constructive interference, so that they add up and the amplitude of the new wave is phi is equal to psi A plus psi B. Okay. This is known as phi and it is equal to psi A plus psi B. Okay. This one is case 1 and this one is case 2. So here case 2, when the two waves are out of phase, which is known as destructive interference. The waves are subtracted from each other so that the amplitude of the new wave is phi dash is equal to psi A minus psi B. By the combination of two atomic orbitals, the new molecular orbitals are formed, one by the additive effect and other one by the subtractive effect. Okay, so now you can clearly see that how the two molecular orbitals are formed. There are two molecular orbitals, right? When two atomic orbitals combines, you can understand this with the help of this. When two atomic orbitals combines, two molecular orbitals forms, right? One is bonding, other one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. So this one is formed by additive effect of electron wave, and this one is formed by subtractive effect of electron wave. Okay. The probability of finding the electrons in the bonding molecular orbital increases. Most of the electron density is located between the nuclei of the bonded atoms and hence interacted strongly by both the nuclei. Whereas it decreases in the anti-bonding molecular orbital, most of the electron density is located away from the space between the nuclei. You know this point? I have already explained this point that the electron density in bonding molecular orbital is in between the nuclei, and in case of anti-bonding molecular orbital, the electron density is around the nuclei. Okay. So here there is less repulsion between the nuclei, this nuclei and this nuclei, because electrons are present in the center. So these electrons will act like a shield, right? Because electrons are present in the center. So there is less repulsion between the nuclei. But here electrons are present around the nuclei. So here there will be more repulsion between nuclei. As there will be more repulsion, so energy of anti-bonding molecular orbital will be more. Okay. If repulsion is more, energy will automatically increase. Here repulsion is less, right? So that means energy of bonding molecular orbital is less. Now here there is the important point that compound with the energy of the combining atomic orbitals, the energy of the anti-bonding molecular orbital is raised by an amount greater than the amount by which the energy of the bonding molecular orbital is lower. And why? Okay. So reason is, and you have to answer why. So first you need to understand the question. So here I am explaining the question. Here you can see that when 1s orbital combines with another 1s orbital, then it results into formation of two molecular orbital, right? This one is molecular orbital, bonding molecular orbital, and this one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. And energy is increasing when we are going in upward direction, right? Now you can see here that this amount of energy, okay, from here to here, it is for anti-bonding molecular orbital. Energy of an anti-bonding molecular orbital increases by this much. Okay. And if we see bonding molecular orbital, then energy of bonding molecular orbital decreases. That is why this one is more stable and this one is less stable. Now you can see that this extent of energy, that this is the amount of energy which decreases for bonding molecular orbital, and this is the amount of energy which increases for antibonding molecular orbital. Now I am repeating the question again. With the combining atomic orbitals, the energy of the antibonding molecular orbital is raised by an amount greater than the amount by which the energy of the bonding molecular orbital is lower. So, reason is because in bonding molecular orbital, electron density is high in between the nuclei. As a result, the nucleus are shielded from each other. Therefore, the repulsion between the nuclei are very small. In the antibonding molecular orbital, the electron density in the internuclear region is very low. As a result, the nuclei are directly exposed to each other and there is very little shielding. Hence, the repulsion between the nuclei are very large, so that antibonding molecular orbital is raised much higher in energy than the bonding molecular orbital is lowest in energy. Now there are two terms, one is stabilization energy and second one is destabilization energy. So stabilization energy is the lowering of energy of the bonding molecular orbital, then the combining atomic orbital is called stabilization energy. And the increase in the energy of the anti-bonding molecular orbital is called destabilization energy. So look at the diagram here. This one is atomic orbital. This one is also atomic orbital and they combines together to form two molecular orbital. Okay, anti-bonding and bonding molecular orbital. So you don't have to look at electron because now we are not discussing about the electrons. Okay, just look at the atomic orbitals and molecular orbitals. So here this is the electron wave, right? This is also known as wave function for first atomic orbital and this is the electron wave for second atomic orbital. Okay, energy increases, okay, and stability decreases. Now phi is equal to psi a plus psi b. Okay, we can write this for the bonding molecular orbital, and psi dash is equal to psi a minus psi b. If you are not understanding where this equation came from, so you can see the previous slide. Now this amount of energy, can you see this from here to here? Okay, this is known as destabilization energy. Okay, the increment in the energy of the atomic orbital is known as destabilization energy because they are less stable, and the decrement in the energy, okay, from here to here, it is known as stabilization energy, and this is represented as delta, and this one delta dash. Now we will study main characteristics of bonding molecular orbitals. Okay, the probability of finding the electron in the internuclear region of the bonding molecular orbital is greater than that of the combining atomic orbitals. Okay, when two atomic orbital combines with each other, then probability to find electron in molecular orbital is more than atomic orbital. Okay, that means in molecular orbitals probability to find the electron is maximum, and here it is lower than the molecular orbital. Next point is the electrons present in the bonding molecular orbital result in an attraction between the two atoms. Okay, so bonding molecular orbitals, right? Bonding molecular orbitals are responsible for the formation of bond. As a result of attraction, the bonding molecular orbital has lower energy and has greater stability than that of the combining atomic orbitals. Fourth point, they are formed by the additive effect of the atomic orbitals. I hope now you are understanding all these points because we have already covered these points. That means crust falls over the crust and trough falls over the trough, so that the amplitude of the new wave is given by phi is equal to psi a plus psi b, and they are represented by sigma, pi, delta, etc. Next is main characteristics of the antibonding molecular orbital. So in antibonding molecular orbital, the probability of finding the electron In the decreases, internuclear excess decreases, and the electrons present in the anti-bonding molecular orbital result in the repulsion between the two atoms. Okay, so anti-bonding molecular orbitals are not responsible for the formation of bond, and they do not favor the formation of bond. Because of the repulsive force, the anti-bonding molecular orbital has higher energy and lower stability. It does not favor the formation of bond, that is why it is named as anti-bonding. Okay? They are formed by the subtractive effect of the atomic orbitals. That means crust falls over the trough so that the amplitude of the new wave is given by psi dash is equal to phi dash is equal to psi a minus psi b. They are represented by sigma star, pi star, delta star. Now, that's all for today, students. Now your homework is you have to do NCERT exercise question number 32, 34, 37 and 38. So note down these questions. If you find any doubt or problem, you can ask me on my email ID. Thank you and have a nice day.